Hey, it's Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Kings lost to the Jazz last night, 132-93 in their preseason home finale. Their preseason finale is tonight in Portland. Pregame 6:30, tip-off 7 o'clock. That's right here on Sports 1140. The Eagles beat the Giants 34-13 last night to open Week 6 of the NFL season. The Sharks fell 3-2 to the New York Rangers in overtime last night. Jonas Donskoy and Marcus Sorensen both had goals for San Jose. And the National League Championship Series kicks off tonight. It's a couple of lefties on the hill. Clayton Kershaw, Gio Gonzalez in Milwaukee. Winner of that 7-game series moves on to the World Series, where they will face the winner of the American League Championship Series, which begins tomorrow. That's how the Major League Baseball playoffs work. Those are your top stories. Now it's back to the drive with Carmichael Dave on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Hey, Kyle. I'm not letting you
Well,
go to work.
I know.
I say my name at the top.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning.
You're going to talk. Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
I want to remind you can watch the video cast. We simulcast everything on video now. And that's all thanks to the Sacramento Republic and our good friends over at Jiffy Lube. Go to KHTK.com, top right of the screen if you're on a desktop. And sort of the middle of the screen to scroll down a little bit. If you are on your phone or tablet, you can hear and watch the show. And you can also go to the KHTK app, the KHTK YouTube page. And you can see all the archive stuff. All the archive shows. All right, Kings coming up at 8:30. NostraDumbass at 8:45. Dave Richard is ready to go. And I see all your questions coming in at 441140. You can also dial in 1-800-920-1140. I like when people text asking me to unblock them on Twitter. If I blocked you on Twitter, you had to have just either tweeted something so egregious and over the top, violence against women, racism, blatant homophobia, something that's just an instant ban, or just a combination of a decent amount of time where I give you a chance. I have a lot of replies on Twitter. I read my replies, but the bad ones stick out too. So I'll remember in a lot of cases who you are. And then I'll go through sometimes before I block you. I'll go through your tweet history. And if you're somebody who just basically lives to not really add anything to the conversation, and you're just out there with your one-word answers, or somebody tweets something and you just go, nah. Yeah, I don't have any use for you.
Can't deal with that.
99.9% of the time, if I've blocked somebody on Twitter, there's a really good, valid reason because I should block more people on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm with you. A lot of the people I also block are people I'm considered are like bots.
Yeah, but I can't. I don't know who bots are.
Right.
I have no idea. Tell you right now, guy I considered blocking on Twitter last weekend. He didn't do anything. He didn't do. What is this? Can he hear this?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, really? So not fun or funny. I didn't block him. Should have. Just because I didn't want to deal with this. Blowing a 27-7 lead. Wait, what is that? Oh, it got cut off. See, I can't play music. Dave Richard of CBSSports.com and graduate of the University of Miami joining us right now. Hello, Dave. Welcome in. The floor is yours.
That was an amazing introduction. I appreciate Kyle for putting on the University of Miami fight song music. I am all kinds of pumped up now. I needed that because I was in a rotten mood. Dave, I'm sorry about your Knowles. It looked really good for them. No, I'm not. It looked good for them for a while. And then, turnovers are killer in football. And the Canes took advantage, and end of the game, it wasn't a blowout. We talked last week about it being a blowout.
Yes.
It definitely was not that. And the Canes emerged victorious. And you know what? Now that the game has played out the way it did compared to the way that it might have played out, I'm happy with how it played out. because it just gets the knife, digs it in a little bit deeper on all those Florida State Seminoles fans, such as yourself. Please don't hang up on me. Please still be my best friend, but I'm really glad the Canes won.
Here's the thing. When I think of heartbreaking losses to Miami in the past, honestly, this doesn't rank anywhere near the top because we suck anyways. But still, throw the records out. It's 27-7 in the third quarter. This is not why we lost. Here's my only complaint. This is not why we lost. We lost fair and square. But that was not a forward pass on the little pass from DeAndre Francois and then the ball down. That was not a forward pass. That was a legal play, David Richard. It's not why we lost, but I thought we got hosed a little bit there.
I think the referees never get a call wrong.
Right.
And I think that was a perfect call and totally acceptable. And you gotta deal with it.
You guys got to wear your turnover chain. I think we got to wear our turnover purse once.
Yeah,
that was neat.
I don't know why they still do that.
It's so stupid. It's a backpack. It's a red. It's just the dumbest. Just stop. Because Willie, you know what? This will be the whole interview. And there's a lot of people with questions about fantasy football, Dave. If we go down this road, we start ranting about Florida State. That's gonna be a whole thing. I'm gonna look up. It's gonna be like 8:24. And I'm like, Saquon Barkley. So. All right, let's get to it. Some questions for you. Well, before we get to the questions, Dave, just really off the top of your head, bye weeks are coming up this week. You've got some injuries left and right, some people getting over injuries, some people getting injured. Who's in your mind here as far as guys that might save people's fantasy weeks?
Well, if you picked up Jameis Winston, obviously he's somebody who could end up being an absolute plug and play at quarterback.
Florida State's Jameis Winston.
For him. Florida State's Jameis Winston. I don't worry about him anymore now that he's in the NFL. But the Falcons are going to worry about him.
Yeah.
I've got him ranked as a top 10 quarterback this week. He should do very well. I like what I've seen from Chester Rogers in the Indianapolis passing game. A lot of targets, 11 each of the last 2 games. He's turned them into 8 catches each of the last 2 games. Yardage hasn't been great, but as a slot receiver going up against a team that struggles with slot receivers, he should do well against the Jets on Sunday, and we know that T.Y. Hilton not expected to play. And then a couple of tight ends that are still out there in a handful of leagues, Cameron Brate in Tampa Bay, Austin Hooper in Atlanta, and if you can't get them, there's C.J. Uzomah in Cincinnati. And I think all 3 of those guys, if you're in a pinch at tight end, you can roll with them.
We had a lot of conversation this week, the media did, with Rob Gronkowski and talking about is Rob Gronkowski still the best tight end in football. If the draft were starting today, who's your top pick at tight end?
Kelsey, followed by Ertz,
that's okay.
And then Gronk.
That's what I was going to ask.
Point, so at this point, we know that Travis Kelsey he's basically what Gronk was a few years ago.
Sure.
Almost what Gronk was a few years ago. Because remember, Gronk just had some just 150-yard, 3-touchdown games, just an absolute beast of a man. And now he kind of hasn't been that lately, and I think that's frustrating to people who spent that second-round pick on him. I got him in the second round in a couple of drafts. I'm not thrilled with him, but I'd still rather have him in my lineup than one of these streaming tight ends that good one week, terrible the next, going back and forth, making ad drop moves. I don't want to do that at tight end. And so that was part of my overall philosophy drafting this summer was I wanted a top 3 tight end. And most of my teams have either Kelsey or Gronk or Ertz. And I've seen so much of Ertz now last year and this year that I just think he might not be quite as prolific as Gronk in terms of numbers. I don't think he'll ever give you a game with, like I said, 150 yards, 3 touchdowns. I just don't think that's in Ertz's future. But he'll get you double-digit fantasy points at tight end most every week, closer to 15 in a PPR league. And that's what you'd love to have that on your team from tight end when there are so many other guys that are, they get you a touchdown and 20 yards, and you're kind of forced to be happy with it. And the games that Eric Ebron had last week, just as an example, they're so few and far between from those non-obvious superstars. So I like having a superstar tight end. Gronk is 3rd best right now. He's fallen behind Kelsey and Ertz.
I've been telling you for 5 years, you got to try it one year. You got to do like me. You got to go PPR league, 2 points per catch for tight ends. That's a blast.
Yeah, so I'm in a league where it's like that. I've got one league. Listen to this. So I've got one league where every tight end catch is worth a point. And running backs and receivers don't get points for catches until their third catch. And then it's
awesome.
PPR. That's not bad, right? And then I'm in another league. I'm in another league where it's 1.5 per catch for tight ends, 1 point for wide receivers, and a half point for running backs. And that's with 26 teams. So having a good tight end in that league is just crucial. And then there's another league, another one where it's point per first down, but it's weighted for tight ends where they get a little extra half point per first down than the other positions get. So I've done leagues like that, Dave, and I enjoy them too, and it really does add increased value to those great tight ends.
Yeah, I want to stay on that position. Actually, I've got a tough decision to make this week.
Is this Kyle from the text line?
Yeah, this is Kyle from the 925 on the text line. Oh, he's a big A's fan too. Crazy. Trey Burton or David Njoku. I've been rocking with Burton all year, but he was on a bye last week, so I picked up Njoku. He had a nice week last week. Is he a guy I can stick with in my starting lineup?
Kyle on the text line, do you get points for catches?
Yeah, it's a wait, hang on, let me scroll up. Yeah, PPR league according to the text line. Yep.
Okay, so that's great. So this is where Njoku has a clear advantage over Burton. Since Baker Mayfield has come under center, we've seen Njoku with 11 targets last week, 6 the week before. He's catching a good dose of them. He's just not finding the end zone. So it makes him kind of a headache in non-PPR leagues. But in PPR leagues like yours, Kyle, as you're texting in, I think you're going to see Njoku continue to get a lot of volume and a lot of looks from Baker Mayfield.
Dave Richard joining us from CBSSports.com. We'll get into all the different ways that you can hear Dave and his colleagues help you win your fantasy leagues. Normally, I avoid texts like this, but this guy did a really good job. He wrote the text in how he wants me to read it, so I'm going to read this verbatim. From the 209, he's literally writing this. Excellent question for Dave Richard from the text line. Most people drafted Patrick Mahomes as their backup quarterback and are now loaded with 2 QB1s. Should we A, trade Mahomes, or B, trade someone like Drew Brees and keep Mahomes? And what kind of value should we get for these trades? He wrote that out verbatim, Dave, so I'm gonna give him credit.
That's a nice and well-worded email that he decided to send in on the text line. You know, I'm surprised he didn't throw a stamp on it and send it through the regular mail for you at the station. To me, trading a quarterback is all about what kind of value you're getting. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I believe that there's a good percentage of people who play fantasy football who overvalue quarterbacks. They think that it's crucial to have a great one on your team, and they might overpay for one of the top cornerbacks. They might give you Sony Michel straight up for him. They might trade you Keenan Allen. I'm throwing names of guys who maybe aren't totally sure things for the rest of the season, but guys who are still pretty good. Kenny Galladay, and it's up to you as to what the expectation is in return. And I would say that if you're getting a player that you would draft in the 3rd round of a draft, if you were having it today, in exchange for one of your top quarterbacks, whichever one it is, and that value will fluctuate. If you've got Brees and Mahomes right now, Brees' value is sky high because he just had the last great game, and Mahomes hasn't been ridiculous for his last 2 games. That could change this week when Patrick Mahomes goes up against the Patriots, lights them up for 35 points, and then people will say, wow, I guess I'd rather have Mahomes.
Sure.
So it's going to be back and forth, and it really depends on what kind of offers you get. Eventually, you're going to need to take the best offer that you can find for him because you want to help your team in the playoffs, and you don't want to complicate your roster by having 2 good quarterbacks, and then you're sitting there chewing your nails in Week 15 going, well, who do I start between these 2 amazing quarterbacks? I got to have one in my lineup and the other one on my bench, and I'd hate to make a wrong decision. You take the thinking out of it by trading one of them, but you've got time to make that move. And I'll add this, Dave, as the bye weeks continue to rack up, and next week I believe there's 6 teams on a bye. It's going to be crazy. There's 4 teams on a bye next week. I believe it's 6 after that. Sorry. Bottom line, you are going to see a lot of trading of quarterbacks, and that might be when you get the best value for a quarterback. When there's a team on bye, maybe they've been streaming, maybe they started Eli Manning last night, and they're sick and tired of streaming, and they'll pony up a little bit more to get one of those stud quarterbacks.
All right, so as we talk to Dave Richard, just to kind of elongate the point here, let's role play a little bit, and let's talk about Patrick Mahomes. I've got Mahomes, let's say, and not Breeze, but a good quarterback behind him, whomever. And my buys are done. PPR league. What should I expect for Patrick Mahomes? Obviously, I would assume, Elliott, Barkley, Gurley. I'm talking straight up. You're like, yeah, dude, all day.
Of course.
So James Conner.
So that's someone who's very interesting to talk about in trade because, again, his value is very much up in the air, and
right.
It's very much based on what you think is going to happen and how you kind of conceptualize James Conner for the rest of the season because apparently Le'Veon Bell is supposed to come back after the games this week. He's going to report to the Steelers. Does Pittsburgh use him as much as they did last year? Do they use him in a 50-50 timeshare with Conner because Conner's been playing well? Or do they say, Le'Veon, hey, take a seat, buddy. You can sit here and get paid a lot of money while we ride with James Conner because he's been awesome for us. So there's a lot of uncertainty with Conner, and because of that, I think his value should be depressed. So trading Conner to get one of those quarterbacks, I think that's probably a fair value, PPR or non-PPR leagues. But I'll give you a rundown. Dave, I do this trade chart every week.
I do.
To help people out with their fantasy deals,
yes, sir.
Help commissioners out and make sure they know that a trade is fair or not. I basically assign a value to a player, PPR, non-PPR, one quarterback league, two quarterback league, just basically giving an idea of what you can expect for him. In a non-PPR league for Patrick Mahomes right now, anybody from Dalvin Cook, Carlos Hyde, Marshawn Lynch, Jordan Howard, Kerryon Johnson, Leonard Fournette's value slipping a little bit, so maybe not him, Brandon Cooks, Manny Sanders, Will Fuller, Robert Woods. That's probably the type of player that I would expect to get in trade straight up for Patrick Mahomes. Now, there's some people that are listening to that, and they're going to say, there's no way I'm going to take one of those scrubs for Mahomes when Mahomes is awesome. I want somebody like Ezekiel Elliott. And I'm telling those people, good luck getting him because everybody right now in fantasy has a very good quarterback. If not, you're streaming and you might be struggling, and you shouldn't be desperate to go and trade up a Zeke, a David Johnson, what have you, in exchange for Patrick Mahomes.
Well, and also you said, I believe, a non-PPR league, that's a big deal. And you also made the point that you've got to, the assumption I would imagine too, not in your list, but that if you've got a backup quarterback, it's essentially, I don't want to say free value, but as you've taught us many, many times, if you've got a hole at wide receiver, if you have a hole at running back, and you're sitting on two quarterbacks, or you have a hole at quarterback and you're sitting on five running backs, whatever it may be, those players aren't doing you any good on your bench when you're going out there every week and losing because you have holes in your game. That's one of the first lessons you taught us.
It is, and it's all about when you're trying to make a trade, you're taking your biggest strength, whatever it is, and you're turning it into something that helps your greatest weakness. And so if you're one of these guys with two great quarterbacks or five great running backs, whatever, you're going to have to look for somebody else in your league that can use one of those players. And then you look at their roster and you say, okay, I could use this guy. I made a trade in one of those PPR leagues that we talked about earlier. I traded Carlos Hyde and Jarvis Landry for Tyreek Hill. I did it for two reasons. And I admit that I overpaid for Tyreek Hill, but it's not by a lot, especially since in this league the catches count more so. After that third catch, Carlos Hyde typically doesn't get that. So really it was more like trading a non-PPR Hyde and a PPR Landry for a PPR Tyreek Hill. I'm complicating things. Bottom line is that I was loaded at running back and wide receiver. I wanted to get a wide receiver who's going to start for me every week, and I have zero hesitation over. And so I got rid of my Browns. I got Tyreek Hill. I think he's going to have a great year from here on out. And it's all based on Patrick Mahomes and how good he's looking. And I'm dealing from a position of strength. I'm getting a good player in return. And I went off and I picked up a good player off the waiver wire. I picked up Ronald Jones, and I'm going to stash him and see if I can turn him into a running back that could be as good as Carlos Hyde. It's all about strength and weakness on your roster, on other people's rosters, and feeding into the supply that the demand calls for in fantasy football.
So two-parter here as we talk to Dave Richard of CBS Sports. And forgive me if I misheard, did I hear that you have Kerryon Johnson rated at or above Leonard Fournette? And B, here fourth, and of course this is assuming Fournette's going to come back in a week or whatever, would you trade Fournette? Where do you value Fournette as opposed to David Johnson, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I've got David Johnson way ahead of Fournette because we don't know when Leonard Fournette's going to come back.
Sure.
So if you're trading for Leonard Fournette right now, you better be 5-0 or 4-1, and you better already have Saquon Barkley on your team and you started him, or maybe you're off to a hot start with Zach Ertz and you think you're going to win this week. You've got to have an eye for the postseason by trading for Leonard Fournette. And even then, it's no guarantee that he's going to be himself when he does come back. And when will he come back? Great question. He's not going to play this week against Dallas. Then they've got Houston at home. Then they're at Philadelphia. And then there's a bye in Week 9. The Jaguars are a team now, believe it or not. They're trying to, they fancy themselves as a contender in the AFC. They probably don't think that they need Leonard Fournette in the next couple of weeks. So maybe they let Leonard Fournette rest his hamstring through the bye. And then great matchup week 10 at Indianapolis. That should be a great game for him to return and help your fantasy team the rest of the season.
If you're in a PPR league, can you make an argument that Saquon Barkley is in the same value field as Todd Gurley?
He's close.
Yeah.
He's really close, and I think that that's pretty obvious after yesterday, and that'll sway a lot of people. But we had a conversation on our podcast today about who would you rather have rest of season, Saquon Barkley or Ezekiel Elliott? And who would you draft earlier next year, Saquon Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott? And I'm sure we're not going to see a great game from Zeke this week because he's taking on Jacksonville. Their run defense is very good. And Zeke had one of his rare single-digit fantasy point games last week. So right now his value might be a little bit depressed because of that. But you see Saquon Barkley every single game he's played this season, double digits in fantasy points. He's basically doing what Zeke did as a rookie by putting up these huge numbers. I would imagine that sooner rather than later you are going to value Saquon as a better fantasy option than Zeke. And next year, both of those guys are probably going to end up being top 5 picks, maybe top 3 picks at the rate that we're going with both of them.
Well, and I know we're late, so last quick question because I want to finish that point. Dave, if you're in a PPR league, and let's say the season stopped today in this fantasy world, and you had to choose a keeper between Barkley and Elliott, is it even I mean, I guess it's a question, but isn't Barkley the guy simply on his receiving numbers on top of rushing?
Sure, probably. But I also think that Ezekiel Elliott, if given the opportunity, could match that. And I can't help but wonder if Dallas will end up doing that eventually. They've started to a little bit more this season, feed him the ball as a pass catcher, and they should continue to do it. And I also wonder what a new coaching staff in Dallas would do with Ezekiel Elliott, because I think that that's something that could come into play. Am I ready to say that I'm going to take Saquon Barkley over Ezekiel Elliott? I don't want to be too reactionary to what's happened yesterday and the week before, but you got to love what you've seen in the production from him. So maybe this is just going to be something that is going to come down the pike. Maybe I'm talking myself into it even more right here, right now, talking with you, Dave, that Saquon Barkley in PPR is better than Ezekiel Elliott. Is he better than Melvin Gordon? That's another question for another time. But he's getting a lot of catches just like Todd Gurley and just like Melvin Gordon. I think they're all in that same tier.
I lied. That wasn't my last question. My last question is for everybody listening right now who still have questions, who still want to read and study and all that. Where can they absorb the knowledge of the great David Richard?
Well, my rankings, my columns, everything that we all do as a staff here on CBSSports.com is exactly where it is, CBSSports.com. You can download the free CBS Sports app. You'll get access to it. You can even get fantasy alerts through the app, and it's all free. We do it because we want to help people win their leagues. We're actually passionate about it. And in about 30 minutes on our new streaming site, CBSSportsHQ.com, which is also free, David, we're going to have fantasy football today. We're going to go through what happened last night, what's the aftermath of it. I'm going to say some very not nice things about Eli Manning and give some concerns about Odell Beckham moving forward. And then we're going to go into DFS lineups, guys that we like in daily fantasy. I know that that's still extremely popular. People love winning money, and they can do it with our help. So we will have all that for everybody at 9 o'clock your time on CBSSportsHQ.com.
The great Dave Richard joins us each and every Friday at 8:05, and we always appreciate his time. Dave, we will talk to you in 1 week, and as always, speak for you when I say go Noles.
You know what? I'll root for the Seminoles the rest of the way because I'm feeling charitable.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want you rooting for the Don't even. That's worse than anything you could have possibly said to me right now. You take
Here,
your.
I'm doing the tomahawk chop right now.
I'll see you next.
Doing it right now.
Take care. Bye. Dave Richard joining us. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Sacramento Kings played last night, such as it was, and we also have an announcement for you regarding this show and our NBA coverage throughout the year. A familiar face returning, and we'll make it official when we get back right here on the Drive. Sports 1140 KHTK.
The Sacramento Republic FC return to Sports 1140 KHTK this Saturday night as they host Las Vegas Lights FC.
For a Wassa, right footer, off there it is, put back is it!
It's the regular season finale. All the action begins at 7:30 right here on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-929-0277. 800-929-0277. 800-929-0277.
Optima Tax Relief.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. Dallas coach Jason Garrett has to be feeling the most pressure this Sunday. Last week on 4th and 1 from the Texans' 42 in the first possession of overtime, Garrett elected to punt. Despite having NFL rushing leader Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield, that uber-conservative decision infuriated everyone in Cowboy land from Jerry Jones on down. Garrett, whom Vegas has pegged as the leading choice to get fired among NFL coaches, can ill afford to lose to Jacksonville at home. Not too far behind Garrett on Vegas' coaching hit list is Denver's Vance Joseph. His defense looked lost against the Jets, and if they couldn't stop Isaiah Crowell and Sam Darnold, what chance do they stand against Todd Gurley and Jared Goff? Good luck, boys. Finally, Ryan Tannehill at home against Chicago needs a big-time bounce-back performance after literally throwing away last week's game against Cincinnati. In come Khalil Mack and the Bears. Good luck with that one. I'm Boomer Esiason.
There are 3 things every homeowner wants their home to be: smarter, safer, and more fun. What if I told you could do all 3 in one product? Introducing the OneLink Safe and Sound, a hardwired smart smoke and carbon monoxide alarm with a premium home speaker and Amazon Alexa voice assistant in one sleek device. Built with First Alert safety technology and providing an immersive, great sound experience, the Safe and Sound elevates any home. Learn more at onelink.firstalert.com. That's onelink.firstalert.com.
Hurry into Lowe's today for savings on everything you need to get started on fall projects, like overseeding and feeding your lawn. You'll find the lawn care products right for your area in stock at Lowe's, plus the know-how to help if you have any questions, like what to do now and what to do next. Plus, find savings to perk up your curb appeal with new mulch and fall plants. Whatever's on your to-do list, start now and save on what you need. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's.
Hey, Sacramento, it's your boy DC here for Beck's Furniture and Sleep. It is that special time of year at Beck's. It's anniversary time, 51 years, and that is 5 decades of service, and the sales are tremendous. No interest, no money down, no minimum purchase. The deals are abundant. Bedroom sets, recliners, bar, pub sets, dining sets, not to mention the Beck's Dream Team and what they can do for you. I'm telling you, there is so much to mention at Beck's Furniture and Sleep that I'll go crazy trying to do it. Tell them DC sent you. Visit them today, Beck'sFurniture.com.
Beck's Furniture. Ashton & Price has been representing injury victims for over 2 decades because we stand for things. We believe new clients should always meet with an experienced attorney. We believe that when our clients get the best medical care, the value of the case becomes clear. We believe that when you retain Ashton & Price, if you do anything on your case, you're doing way too much. We believe in being honest, professional, and aggressive. So if you're injured, tap into what Ashton & Price stands for. There's never a fee until you win, so call Ashton & Price for a free consultation.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey, all you car enthusiasts out there, go to KHTK.com for your chance to win tickets to the Sacramento Auto Show, happening October 19th through the 21st at Cal Expo. Go to KHTK.com today. The Sacramento Auto Show, going down at Cal Expo October 19th through the 21st.
Cache Creek Casino Resort has us look at your Sacramento weather. Going to be sunny and much warmer today. We'll reach a high of 86 this afternoon. Cash Creek's Cash Climb. 7 cash winners at every drawing Friday and Saturday until November 25th, with a $2,000 winner at 4 p.m., a $4,000 winner at 7 p.m., and an $8,000 winner at 10 p.m. Visit CashCreek.com for details.
It's Football Friday on Sports 1140, brought to you by Maida Chevrolet. Get the commercial vehicle you're looking for. Silverados, express vans, and more. Business elite at Maida Chevy. Find new roads.
Now your sports update. Sports update. Powered by Mercury Insurance.
Hey, Kyle Madson, top story, Sports 1140. Kings lost to the Jazz last night, 132-93. It was their penultimate game of the preseason. Their final game is tonight. Penultimate, right? Second to last, penultimate? That's right.
I don't know. I just get hi, Kyle Madson, top story, Sports 1140.
It's their second to last preseason game was last night, and they lost 132-93. Their last preseason game is tonight. It's in Portland. Pre-game 6:30, tip-off at 7 right here on Sports 1140. God, I'm trying to get through this and be professional.
Penultimate is mightier
trying to be
than the
professional, and you just cut me off, and you're just cutting my legs out from under me.
Mm-hmm.
You set me on the tablecloth, and then you yank the tablecloth out. I'm like Charlie Brown. You're like Lucy, and this update is the football.
Oh, my God. Can we just move on, please? Jeez, I can't even meow. I can't even meow.
Here we go. The drive continues now.
That actually worked out perfectly.
Really good.
Welcome back. Thanks to Dave Richard. Thanks to Dave Richard. CBSSports.com. Also, Sean Salisbury. Before that, all guests via the Firewings hotline. 21 different flavors to choose from. Firewings.com. Just wing it. For the 916, I think the fans at Golden One Center were the real winners last night. Dave was very close to getting on the smile cam. Oh, boy, that would have been very bad. I'll give you that. Although I did get on Kiss Cam. It was the thing where Slamson sat down between me and an attractive young lady that was sitting to my right that was not my wife for Kiss Cam, and they go and they focus on him, and he turned to me and just, I don't mind a lion kissing me in front of my wife and children. And I'm not going to lie and say it wasn't kind of enjoyable. But less tongue. That's all I'm saying. It's inappropriate.
I know, they have the sandpaper tongue.
Right. It's not comfortable. He was licking my face. Jeez. Probably because I smelled like raw meat and cheese.
Smelled like dead zebra.
The Fighting Zebras. The Fighting Zebras of Lincoln High.
Hey, they're our team of the week. Congratulations, Lincoln High School,
Are
for
they
winning
really?
our Stockton Honda Game of the Week. The Fighting Zebras are hosting conference rival Rio Linda tonight with kickoff at 7 p.m. Make sure to submit your California Family Fitness Player of the Week at KHTK.com and listen to Friday Night Football hosted by Matt the Matador George and Charles the Hammer Hamilton, presented by Wingstop.
Can we submit that we want to help Lincoln High School get a new name other than the Fighting Zebras?
Yeah.
I'll get all over that. Hey, if somebody who's got the power at Lincoln High is thinking about this, they're like, you know, this is it. We've been waiting for it. Here we go. We'll use the show. We'll take.
Like when they made the Fighting Zebras, they were like, I don't know. And someone's like, what is the morning
We'll take all kinds. Did you miss that shot? You did.
I missed the heck out of it.
We will take all kinds of advice, of suggestions. We'll do all of that. We'll help you. I love how Kyle and I both thought the same thing during the break. We talked about this in our 6 a.m. hour about how much we dislike the Fighting Zebras. And we both thought the same, like, God, please tell me that, like, it wasn't like Fred Lincoln, the founder of Lincoln's dying wish that they be the Fighting Zebras, or there's like some sad story behind it, and then we feel like asses. That's just somebody was like, hey, let's make them the Fighting Zebras. Oh, they're blue and yellow. Roar. I'm a Fighting Zebra. Roar. Look out. Fighting Zebra. Roar. From the 5-3, okay, the Kings play that Israel team 82 times this season. Israel, tough to schedule them. I'm not being serious.
No, I think the right thing to say there is I got nothing.
Well, hey, I forgive you.
Oh, that's great.
Invisible mic drop. Okay.
The Lincoln mic drops better than the Fighting Zebra.
That would actually be great.
With the helmet, it could be a microphone. with the lines.
Yes. 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 What was that?
Is that
I don't know. That was a fighting zebra.
I think that was a fighting goat.
Let's get to your Sacramento Kings real quick, as we will be doing full previews of the Kings all next week. We will have guests. We will have analysis. We will have horrible takes. My goal, and I know some people out there are like, dude, I'm already there. But I say to you, young man, young lady, many people are not. There are some people out there like, why are you so down with the Kings, man? I want to hear this. I'm trying to protect you. Kings are my team. I'm loyal to the Royal, man. Thick and thin. By the way, that should be it. That should be on a T-shirt.
Loyal to the Royal.
Loyal to the Royal.
What? You could sell those in England as well.
Mm-hmm.
You could also sell those in Kansas City.
Fine. You know what? It can't just be Kendrick Lamar that gets to say, got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA, okay? Other people can build on that. See, I drop Kendrick lyrics. Let me talk to you about the opening of the Kings season, because somebody just texted me and said, hey, do you think the Kings might make a coaching 5-15 start? That's right about where I think they'll be. In fact, it's a little bit better. They open against Utah. Are we safe in saying that that's probably going to be a loss? I'm just, probably going to be a loss. They lost by 94 last night.
It was 93.
Uh-huh. In their first 20 games, they're going to have 4 back-to-backs. In their first 20 games, I think 85% of the teams they play either were or will be likely playoff teams this year. You can't account for injury.
Glad you can see in the future, Dave.
Hey, I'm looking at their easiest games being home against Memphis, which, by the way, is healthy. Go ahead.
I would be interested to see, because there are people who definitely, are listening, and they get upset when you say this.
Uh-huh.
I would like to know, because I mentioned earlier this week that I think people get upset because they know you're right, and they don't want to live in the world where it's realistic. They want to pretend like it's sunshine and rainbows, and they're going to win 45 or 50 games. If someone honestly believes that, I want to know why. Because, even Matt, I know we joke about the blind optimist stuff, but, he is so gung-ho on this team, and I've never heard a good reason why other than, I just think they're going to be good.
Right.
Which I
believe in my team. Okay. I'm not trying to be a downer, and I feel like this is a conversation we're going to be having all year. It's just simply the higher you put your expectations, the lower the fall. If you fall out a first floor window, you're probably going to survive. You fall out a 15th floor window, it's probably going to hurt a little bit more. And that's kind of the idea. Trying to move the level of expectations down to the first floor if they're not there already. Right. This is going to be a young and frustrating team. There's going to be nights where you go, where? Like last night, we don't have any pride. We're not playing defense. These guys are lost out there. Okay, but you're the same person last year that bitched all year long about playing too many of the veterans. That's what happens when Zach Randolph isn't out there. What do you think if this team in the first quarter, when they were down 20, God knows whatever, first quarter score was like 92-10? You think Zach Randolph, when Joe Ingles starts talking trash to not Josh Jackson, who the hell is
Justin
Jackson? Thank you, God. You think when Joe Ingles says to Justin Jackson, it's gonna be a long night for you guys. Hey, it's gonna be a long night for you. I saw it. I heard it. Zach Randolph would have gone over the next time Joe Ingles tried to go in the lane. Zach Randolph would have hip-checked him into the popcorn booth in the 10th row. Or Costa. That's what veterans do. So if you want it to be a certain way, then you have to be prepared to ride with that way. If Harry Giles and Marvin Bagley are getting a bunch of minutos, then you got to prepare for nights like last night because they're going to happen a lot. I said it on Twitter. This is going to be the most challenging on-floor season in Sacramento Kings history, and that's saying something. Because you have the accumulation of bad years of not making the playoffs. This is going to be a 20 to 25 win team, most likely, somewhere in that range. There are going to be nights where they're blown out by 30 points at home. And there's no first-round pick. When you put all that together, it is a perfect tsunami. You're going to see a lot of empty seats at Golden One Center. They were giving away tickets last night to opening night. Like a decent amount of tickets to opening night. I can't even imagine that happening in years past. So you're going to hear and see things in Sacramento that you're not used to. You're going to see a lot of empty seats at times. You're going to hear fans booing. It is only a matter of time before somebody gets clever and comes up with Bagley's bag unit, and you know where that goes, where people are showing up in paper bags. I've already heard that be talked about. It's going to get bad, and the national media is going to pile on like they always do. And it's going to be us against the world. But if 3 years from now, you got 2 All-Stars on the team, and Harry Giles is going for 20 and 10 a night, and so is Marvin Bagley, and De'Aaron Fox is doing De'Aaron Fox things like a lot of people think that he can. And Bogdan's a great rotation player, and Buddy Hield's the 6th man of the year. Whatever it may be. Well, are you really going to care? Are you really going to care about this year? No, it's going to make it that much better. And that's going to be my tangent for most of the year. And in between that, we're going to have meltdowns. Like last night. Kings play the Blazers tonight in Portland. Will it be as bad as last night? I don't think so. Tough to do that twice in a row. But let's just remember, they got blown out by 30-plus at home. And they're now going to play Portland on the second night of a back-to-back, and Portland's a pretty good team too. So just prepare yourself for that. Meanwhile, Bagley and Giles per 36 numbers still look pretty good. And they both had decent games last night, especially Bagley. We'll take a break. NostraDumbass, when we get back, along with What's on Tap, we'll pick the Raiders, we'll pick the Niners games, and then we'll also, Kyle and I each pick a random game on Friday. We'll tell you how it went. We'll replay it on Tuesday to see how right we were. The drive back in a couple. Sports 1140 KHTK.
Sports 1140 KHTK has made your mornings even better. Check out The Drive every morning on KHTK.com to not only hear the show, but to see the show as well. The Drive is now video streaming every morning from 6 to 9 on KHTK.com. All presented by the Sacramento Republic FC and by Jiffy Lube.
Carmichael Dave here for Fire Wings. 21 different flavors to choose from, and Kyle Madson only has one more to go. Mango habanero. That's it. That's the last one. Kyle picked all the flavors on the school playground, and mango habanero is the one that's just like, oh, man. But here's the thing. I've had mango habanero. It's a very good wing. Oh, some wing had to be last. Might as well be mango habanero.
Yeah, it's not the wing. It's me being afraid that it's going to be too hot to where I have 5 wings. I don't want them to go to waste.
It's not you, Wing. It's me.
Right.
It's not you. It's me.
100%. Right.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault, Wing. You get that? Good Will Hunting? Have you seen Good Will Hunting? You haven't seen Good Will Hunting.
Dude, we've been over this.
Did we go over Good Will Hunting,
yes.
though? Really?
Yes, it's on the list.
21 flavors to choose from. Robin Williams, the late, great Robin Williams, his character in that, it was amazing. And let me tell you right now.
Anyways, my best friend's Matt Damon.
Let me tell you right now, Robin Williams' character in Good Will Hunting would have been a mango habanero guy. I'm telling you.
Habanero.
Whatever. Go to firewings.com. Find the location nearest you.
Work as a janitor at a college and feel like I'm smarter than a lot of the people
Go
there.
rent the movie Good Will Hunting. Grab yourself some Fire Wings.
Sometimes I'll see an equation on the board. I'll just walk
tell
in
him
and
dumb
finish it.
Kyle Madson face.
As I'm best friends with Matt Damon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you sent them.
Have you noticed a lot more men smiling around town? Universal Men's Clinic has treated thousands of patients. That's thousands of happy men who have a greater zest for life. If you don't have the energy, stamina, or strength like you used to, or having problems in the bedroom, you could be our next happy patient. Call us at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit universalmensclinic.com. A $199 office visit may get you smiling too.
I'm Charles Arakaki, a doctor at the Universal Men's Clinic and a happy patient. I was feeling old and I thought it was my demanding lifestyle. I started feeling loss of energy and stamina. Having treated thousands of patients with low energy and sex drive and seeing them improve, it hit me. My symptoms were similar to my patients. With the modern medicine at Universal Men's Clinic, I'm now enjoying a renewed quality of life.
Call us at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit universalmensclinic.com.
Want a new car but don't want the hassle? Here's a tip. Visit MaidaCars.com for instant access to every new, used, and certified pre-owned vehicle in the Maida family of dealerships. Big Maida savings on over 2,000 vehicles. Easy financing for everyone. Over 7,500 four-star reviews. All in one place. MaidaCars.com. Visit MaidaCars.com to see why everyone is saying, "Made a great deal at Maida."
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 8989 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 8989. Enjoy.
It's the free event at Mattress Firm. This Friday through Monday, you can enjoy 2 free memory foam pillows, a free mattress protector, and a free adjustable base. That's a total value of over $600 free when you take home a queen mattress for just $749. Plus, every brand in the store is on sale. Only the nation's largest specialty mattress retailer can offer deals this good. Your budget stretches further at Mattress Firm. Restrictions apply, valid at participating locations only. For offer details, visit mattressfirm.com/sale.
Retired? You probably have more risk in your portfolio than you've been told. A financial crisis could bring 40% losses. What would you do then? Listen to 50 Shades of Money every Saturday at 8 a.m. and get the answers from Peak Financial.
It's the end of the show, but it's the start of your workday. For a cold one, it's What's on Tap. Here's What's on Tap.
All right, What's on Tap brought to you by
Mustache Wax.
Mustache Wax. If you're somebody like Kyle and you're an A's fan and you grow a mustache and you want to make it look waxy and weird, grab some Mustache Wax. You too can look like a broke Raleigh Fingers. Yep, that's right. Mustache Wax.
You too can look like you should be in a carnival.
That's right.
Did you see my pictures from the wedding? When I had my mustache wax?
I did.
It's pretty sick, huh?
Yeah, sick. It was.
Like, on a scale of jealous to super jealous.
Mm-hmm.
How jealous were you?
Oh, I was an 11. It's off the charts. If only I too could have little ski ramps at the edge of my lips.
That physics of that wouldn't work because it kind of curls over at the top. You would just kind of go up and fall back down.
I know we got to do NostraDumbass here, so it's a short tail, but I just want to say, I don't know, dude. When I see people with mustaches and curly keys, I just go, why? You just look. It's like people with
Hannibal Buress has a bit about that.
Yeah,
like, you can't expect me to take anything you say seriously.
It's like if you have a bunch of face rings. I'm sorry, it's your right to do whatever you want, but if you're rolling around with a bunch of rings on, like eyebrow, nose, those big holes in your ears, that's all I'm looking at. That's all I'm not paying attention to anything you're saying. I'm just like, oh my God, I can put my finger through your earlobe. That's weird. Kings Blazers tonight. Sports 1140 KHTK, 7 p.m. The great Gary Gerald on the call. Also, we got a little baseball this afternoon. Dodgers Brewers, 5 o'clock first pitch. Kershaw versus former Athletic Gio Gonzalez. All right, let's do this. Let's do a little NostraDumbass. If you don't know, I'll tell you real quick. This is where Kyle and I will tell you how the games this weekend are going to go. Before we've seen them, we'll replay this on Tuesday and see how right or, well, stupid we are. Let's start, Kyle, in the great city of London. Been there many times. Love it. It's amazing. Never been there. Seahawks and Raiders. I think they're going to put on a show for the old Wembley Stadium folk. I think you're going to see some scoring in this game. The over-under, I don't know what the over. Oh, it's 48.5. I'll take the over on this. Seattle is favored by 2.5. I think Seattle's going to cover just fine. Give me 3 Russell Wilson touchdowns. 2 of them passing, 1 of them rushing. Throw me a Chris Carson or some other running back. I'm going to go 4 touchdowns right there. That's 28 points. Add a couple of field goals. Let's go 34-21. Derek Carr, a couple of touchdowns, and Marshawn Lynch gets in there. I think Martavis Bryant finds the end zone for the very first time as a Raider. And this seems like an Amari Cooper week. So go with Amari Cooper in fantasy football. 34-21 Seahawks.
I think the Raiders go into London. I think they catch an L against the Seahawks, but I think Jared Cook has a good game with a couple of touchdowns. Give me 2 Derek Carr interceptions. Give me a Marshawn Lynch touchdown. They'll want to get him in the end zone against his former team, so if they get a 1st and goal at the 1, I think they will hand it off this time. But ultimately, I think the Seahawks offense is just going to be a little too much. They seem to be figuring out their running game. And the Raiders' defensive front is just not going to be good enough to take advantage of that offensive line. I think Russell Wilson has a big day, throws for over 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Give me a Seahawks 27, Raiders 23.
Monday Night Football, 49ers and Packers at
24, 27-24.
27-24?
Yeah, that's
field goal. Niners, Packers, Monday Night Football, Lambeau Field. Oh, gosh. I think this is going to be a bad game for your Niners. I want to say, maybe they'll keep it close. Nah, I don't think so. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to go crazy in this one. It's going to be a get-healthy game for him. Let's call it 38-14. I'll give you an Alfred Morris touchdown for the 49ers. C.J. Beathard, couple of picks, maybe a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers with 3 touchdowns and one of their 17 running backs also with a touchdown. So, yeah, they're going to get blown out pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think the 49ers have turned the ball over a lot under C.J. Beathard. I think it continues on Monday night. Give me 2 C.J. Beathard fumbles, 2 interceptions, so 4 more turnovers for him. I do think he throws a touchdown to George Kittle. But I think Aaron Rodgers goes off. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be angry. I think he goes for 5 touchdowns. He always seems to have a little extra edge when he plays against the 49ers. Give me Packers 38, 49ers 13.
What did I say? 38-14?
Oh, did you?
I think that's fine. Don't worry about it. Finally, we got to go quickly here. Chiefs, Patriots. I've picked against the Chiefs against the Broncos. I picked against the Chiefs against Jacksonville. This is the final time I'll be picking against the Chiefs if they win this weekend. I will then pick them in every single Chiefs game for the rest of the year throughout the playoffs and the Super Bowl if they win this weekend, because I do think the Patriots will finally give them their first loss, a little bit of revenge for last year. We're out of time, so I'll say this. Tom Brady's going to go for 4 touchdowns. Sonny Michel's going to add one of his own on the ground. That's 5 touchdowns total, throwing a field goal. 38-30, your final score. Patriots with the victory.
Can I pick that game as well?
Of course you can.
I think the Patriots know they might face the Chiefs in an AFC championship game scenario, and I think they take their foot off the gas on purpose. I think the Chiefs are going to want to show off and put a thumping on the Patriots in Foxborough. And I think the Chiefs go out there and just run rampant. Patrick Mahomes, 4 touchdowns en route to a 31-17
Wow,
Chiefs win.
You have a Chiefs blowout, and I have a Patriots 8-point win. Line on that game, New England 3.5. They are the favorites. 4 units behind the scenes, doing all the lower thirds and all the graphics and everything else. For Kyle Madson, for Sean Salisbury, for Dave Richard, for all of you, I'm Carmichael Dave. Have a great weekend. Please be safe. We'll see you Monday morning at 6.